FaZe Clan.
FaZe Clan.
FaZe Clan.
Esports phenomenon FaZe Clan debuting on the NASDAQ today via SPAC merger.
They gifted this chain.
What is FaZe Clan? Who is FaZe Clan?
I am a part of the FaZe Clan.
And what happened to FaZe Clan?
I'm asking you, am I in FaZe?
I am no longer a part of FaZe
Now,
Clan.
in May, FaZe Clan was sued by Tinny over
no
a
heads
contract.
up. Tifu, I called you my family.
FaZe and Banks have every right to be super.
This is not right. This is not cool.
Over the last decade, FaZe Clan's name and popularity extended from the small niche gaming world to the mainstream media.
I mean, that's huge right there. Talk to me about this.
Whether it was YouTubers,
Do you want to join FaZe?
gamers,
force on into him, McCarrigan holds his ground.
athletes, or celebrities, FaZe Clan and its logo began popping up everywhere. After more than a decade of overwhelming success, FaZe Clan reached a $1 billion valuation.
Valuation of nearly $1 billion.
But less than 2 years later, it was valued at $10 million, 99% less than it was 2 years before. Today, FaZe Clan is back. It's a little different, and the future is unknown. How did we get to this point, and what is the future going to hold? Today, we will speak about all the highs and the lows, from banned players, from scandals, and kicked FaZe members. This video will speak about 15 years of history of FaZe Clan. This is for the old fans, the first-time viewers, and the people that are interested in seeing one of the most unique businesses in the history of the internet. On May 30th, 2010, three friends that met on Xbox Live from around the world made a small decision that started everything. Just like other high schoolers their age, they decided to give their friend group a name. And to their surprise, this name would grow to be globally known very soon after.
Because this was founded in 2010 by a bunch of teenage kids who just loved gaming.
And met on Xbox. Met on Xbox, didn't meet in person till later.
Clips from Florida, Resistance from Texas, and Housecat from Canada decided to go and name their team FaZe.
How perfect is this? F-A-Z-E.
And the rest was history. A few months later, in August of 2010, FaZe Temper was brought onto the team.
Oh hey, what's up? It's FaZe Temper. I'm gonna show you guys my setup.
For most people on the team at the time, this was just a side hobby, something they did for fun. But for FaZe Temper, this was something different. Tommy had a vision that changed the trajectory of FaZe Clan forever. He saw it as a passion project. He saw it as something that would change the world. And he quickly became the public leader of FaZe Clan in early 2011. And his dedication and his passion fueled the brand to unbelievable heights. I myself, FaZe Apex, was recruited by Temper in March of 2011, which was the beginning of a massive year for FaZe Clan.
See FaZe getting ready. They need to be focused, right?
Other legendary members such as Tico, Ramos, and Wartech were brought on that year, and FaZe Clan grew from under 50,000 subscribers to 500,000 subscribers by the end of 2011. Along with daily content, FaZe launched its first ever clothing pieces in 2011, and it began to grow as a brand beyond gaming. Less than a year later, the YouTube channel reached 1 million subscribers, and it was in the top 100 most subscribed channels on the platform. Moving quickly ahead, by 2013, other notable members such as Rain, Banks, Adapt, and Rug were now part of the team.
What's up, guys? FaZe Rug here, and I'm bringing you up.
FaZe Clan now had over 2 million subscribers and took a massive step by entering into the esports scene with a professional Call of Duty team.
There you see FaZe getting ready. They need to be focused.
That year in 2013, dozens of FaZe members from around the world flew to Anaheim, California, and lived in a house together for the weekend. This was the first time many of them met outside of the internet, and it was a weekend that changed all of their lives. FaZe Clan brought more excitement to that event that weekend by announcing 5 winners of the FaZe 5 recruitment challenge that had over 100,000 applicants to join FaZe Clan. They were introduced in a stretched limo in the modest house, and they accompanied the rest of their team to the Anaheim Convention Center to go watch MLG Anaheim 2013. This was a professional gaming event where FaZe Clan's roster of 4 professional Call of Duty players was competing. Throughout the games, the other members would be outside taking pictures, meeting fans, and supporting the team as they eventually placed into the top 5 in one of their first events. The rest of the year, FaZe members continued to travel around the world following the Call of Duty team, supporting them in various different cities such as Columbus, New Jersey, and even in Niagara Falls. With now over 3 million subscribers and 30 to 40 FaZe members, FaZe Clan reached new heights. In 2014, while the whole team was again at another rented house in Columbus, attending an event, the 4 leaders at the time, FaZe Apex,
Everyone a bite. I'm not gonna touch your lens. Don't worry.
Temper, Banks, and Rain sat down in a room and decided to make this into a business. On a whiteboard, the 4 leaders drew out the ownership and how this was going to be ran, and an LLC was created, and the rest was history. It began what was arguably the biggest year in FaZe Clan's history. In November of 2014, FaZe Clan and G Fuel partnered to launch the first ever FaZe House in Long Island, New York.
Vlog right now because I actually have a pretty huge announcement that I'm making.
After members like Apex and Rain reaching 1 million subscribers on their own personal channels, the content game had made a massive shift. Instead of just gaming, FaZe Clan's new house was going to be a place filled with skits.
Bro, what are you doing?
Pranks.
Oh my!
Vlogs. And content their fans have never before seen.
He literally sleeps everywhere. Everywhere.
The now legendary New York FaZe House consisted of members such as Tico, Apex, Banks, Temper, Sensei, Blaziken, Adapt, and Rain, with many other members and other YouTubers visiting.
It's gonna explode all over you.
Esports also continued to grow with the first ever FaZe Championship win in Call of Duty in 2014 at UMG Nashville.
FaZe is your UMG Nashville Elgato 25K champion.
2014 were very important for FaZe. They continued to make content every single day in the house, growing each of their personal channels to millions and millions of subscribers. The brand became stronger than ever with a very, very active audience of millions of followers that watched across all of these channels. Outside of the daily videos on YouTube, FaZe Clan also signed its first Counter-Strike team, which changed the landscape of the esports business forever. Between 2016 and 2017, the New York house decided to move to Newport Beach in California into a new $10 million home.
FaZe House LA, and my favorite thing.
It was a massive upgrade from the modest 3,000 square foot home in New York, but it was also a necessary one. In New York, every single day there would be fans driving from across America to come visit the FaZe House. They would park outside waiting for hours for the members to come out of their home, some of them even breaking into the backyard and trying to open the door of the house.
Oh, there's no way, dude! Bro, there's literally a fan in our backyard.
How much of our privacy has been like destroyed because of this house, and it's
with FaZe Clan's massive growth in 2015 and 16, it was no question that they needed a new layer of privacy, and that is why they moved into this gated community in Newport Beach.
I'll show you. This is the new FaZe House, as you guys can see.
Welcome, FaZe House 2017.
It was actually the same community as Lakers legend Kobe Bryant. A lot began to change in 2017 when this move happened. Most of these FaZe members began making really good money in their late teens, and they entered into their early 20s.
Into the business that you've created, because now FaZe Clan is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. You guys are...
Naturally, many of them began experimenting many different things in life and trying to find enjoyment away from just YouTube. Around this time, a businessman joined the company who legally cannot be named, and he began to take the reins of the business at a very opportunistic time. FaZe Banks had freshly gone through a very difficult time online and was separated from the rest of the team.
And I'm happy with my decision.
The rest of the members were also pretty burnt out after daily uploading every single day for over 5 years, and with the big shift in their lives moving across the country, there was confusion, discomfort, and demotivation across the house. Along with all of that, there were some scandals beginning to form around the brand and around esports, and all of this was a perfect recipe for this businessman to step in. This was the first real speed bump in FaZe's history, and a lot changed in 2017. In one sense, esports continued to grow, and the business on the outside looked stronger than ever, but internally, the members were demotivated, lost, split up from each other, and confused on the future. FaZe Banks eventually came back to LA and became a part of FaZe Clan again, and the FaZe House basically disbanded. New houses would form that had a few members, other houses having other members, and it became more of a professional production studio. The content, esports, and strategy was fully being managed by this businessman and the team that he has established. After a couple rough years, this stand-in CEO was actually caught doing some shady business practices, and he was kicked out of the team, and the turmoil really continued. In 2018, the brand was given a much-needed breath of life by the arrival of Fortnite.
Gaming friends are now banding together, posting video of their gameplay, selling merchandise, and even creating multi-million-dollar media empires, like a group called FaZe Clan.
FaZe Scissors was recruited early on, and he later became a massive icon in Fortnite with the release of his Death Run map.
Make more maps and make them more difficult, because watching people destroy this.
Tfue was scouted and recruited as a small streamer at the time, and he exploded into one of the biggest names in the gaming world within just a couple of months.
And his daily streams attracted around 31,000 average concurrent viewers toward the end of 2019.
Tfue joined the professional team, and he brought some of the earliest Fortnite trophies to FaZe Clan.
They got it. They did. Won. They win $60,000 for that.
And on top of this, a lot of celebrities like rapper Lil Yachty or NFL player Juju Smith joined the team, and they began to establish a connection between sports,
everybody say basketball,
pop culture.
Are you down with the gang now?
100%.
Is he all the way down with the gang? 100%.
And gaming.
It's said you can't buy success, but apparently nobody informed the FaZe Clan.
Along with a quick success in Fortnite, the FaZe Counter-Strike team became the #1 team in the world, and they began signing teams in other games such as PUBG, FIFA, and Overwatch.
FaZe Clan has picked up an Overwatch team.
FaZe seemingly found a now perfect mix between being a gaming and a lifestyle brand, with creators, professionals, celebrities, and content consisting of the best of both worlds. In 2018, FaZe Clan launched a collaboration with Champion and sold over $1 million of clothing in 2 hours. This started a chain of many successful merch shops, including other collaborations with Supreme, Lyrical Lemonade, Disney, Xbox, and Murakami. Over the next few years, FaZe Clan reached many new heights, signing massive partnership deals with companies like Nike, Porsche, Apple, and Verizon, which demonstrated FaZe's ability to bridge the gap between gaming, pop culture, and mainstream brands. FaZe Clan continued to rise with major creator signings, features in articles such as the New York Times, and becoming one of the top earning and most valued esports brands in the world.
Put your hands together!
At the Fortnite World Cup in New York, FaZe shut down the streets with thousands of fans coming to meet them and buy their exclusive clothing drop. Over the next few years, the company continued to grow so much that the staff grew to over 100 employees. And inevitably, there was a massive divide starting to brew between the original members and the corporate staff.
It's tactical, bitch. You don't use tactics and legal strategy against friends.
As things grew, many major decisions began being made on behalf of the brand without the buy-in of the original members. The company was now ultimately controlled by a board of directors, which is natural because of all the money that was taken on in investments. Of course, a lot of this at the fault of the FaZe members that didn't really have a grasp on what was happening at the brand. This is a point in history that a lot of fans fault the original members for doing, claiming that they sold out or this and that. As one of the original members, and a little biased, of course, myself being 21 years old at the time, and the rest of us being a little younger, really had no idea what was happening. To the point of selling out, none of the FaZe members really profited $1 from any of these moves and actually lost complete control of the brand. With that being said, a lot of internal turmoil began to grow, as well as some massive scandals. Arguably the biggest member of FaZe Clan at the time, Tfue, publicly sued FaZe Clan and demanded his release from the team.
This contract that I signed, when I didn't know any better, I'm an idiot. I should have never signed it in the first place.
No heads up. I got absolutely no warning of this. This is something that could have easily been handled offline. I don't agree with what him and his team have done. I think it's complete and utter. Most of it is a complete lie, exaggerated, and it's tactical, which you don't use tactics and legal strategy against friends.
This was the beginning of a new set of rocky years at FaZe Clan. At the time, FaZe Clan now had over 100 different content creators and pros under their roster, and 4 or 5 of them were caught as a part of a new crypto promotion that turned to be a scam. Although FaZe Clan as an organization had no involvement, it was a massive blow to the reputation of the team. Those members were kicked from the team, but the effect of that scandal is still felt today. With the corporate side of the business and the publicly facing FaZe members failing to see eye to eye, many more issues began to rise, and while all of this was happening, there was still a lot of seemingly good things happening to the public. FaZe Clan continued high-level collaborations such as the Super Bowl event with the NFL.
Mario's temper is pretty quick, manages to, wow, that's an angry run if I've ever seen one.
A partnership with Manchester City, and even signing with the global talent agency UTA. FaZe Clan was named to Fast Company's annual list of the world's most innovative companies in 2021 and was named the most talked about gaming team on Twitter. But internally, it was an endless loop. The logo and brand had so much respect and power that these massive successes would temporarily put out the internal fires that continued to flare. Tension was felt throughout the whole company, and a lot of private issues began to leak into the public. In October of 2021, FaZe Clan announced plans to become a publicly listed company.
The company has officially started trading on the NASDAQ. FaZe Clan...
Listen to this. Okay, it's valued at $725 million. It unveiled a new name, FaZe Holdings.
This was something that was very contested internally at FaZe Clan, but eventually the board decided to move forward with the decision. Many members put aside their questions and concerns, and they hesitantly supported in order to support the brand and trust the plan of the corporate leaders.
Via a SPAC merger with a valuation of nearly $1 billion.
After a $1 billion valuation and a successful NASDAQ launch, everything crashed from there. Over the next 2 long and gruesome years, FaZe Clan saw a steady decline in public value.
The popular Gen Z brand has since plummeted, and today the company's market cap is just 14.
And many FaZe members began publicly speaking out about their grievances with the company. Most of the staff was let go, the CEO was finally fired, and the original FaZe members could not even wear the FaZe logo proudly anymore. In October of 2023, FaZe Clan was acquired for $17 million, just 2 years after being valued at over $1 billion.
FaZe Clan in an all-stock deal worth about $17 million.
From its inception in 2010 and for the next 11 years, FaZe Clan only saw exponential growth year by year. And all of that was until October in 2021, where it seemed to be the beginning of the end. The only positive in that $17 million acquisition of FaZe Clan seemed to be the caveat that the founders would be back in power. Many people wrote off the brand and thought that it was too late, and even internally, many FaZe members could not imagine that it would recover. In March of 2024, FaZe Clan's social media pages were wiped clean and blacked out. It was announced that FaZe Banks would be stepping in as the CEO, and a lot of things were about to change. A month later, FaZe Clan was rebooted with a roster of only 14 FaZe members, which left a lot of fans angry and scratching their heads. Most of the team was left off the roster, including some of the most important members in FaZe Clan's history, FaZe Rain, Tico, and Blaziken, and this, of course, left the public divided. Some of the audience was understandably very angry to see their favorite members left off the list, while others agreed that the team needed a full reboot. Rain, who was one of the original 4 founders of the business, shared that he was no longer interested in being a part of the team anymore due to the corporate ownership and structure, and the others were left off with no real explanation. Banks took center stage and stood by the decision and took on the burden of the hate and the criticism, and he was very responsive with the audience throughout. He announced that 4 new FaZe members would join the team, and during a 4-day span, FaZe Clan announced the recruitment of Max, Silky, Jason the Ween, and Lacey. According to the statistics of the senior analyst at FaZe Clan, FaZe's reboot generated a social reach of 350 million impressions. After a rough and quiet 2 years, this was a very big burst back onto the scene, but a lot of people were angry about the decisions. Diving into the data, there was almost 60,000 different mentions on social media of the brand in that week, which was the most since April of 2023. But if you look at the numbers, almost half of them were negative, and a lot of the fans were not happy with the decision. Just 2 months later, in July of 2024, a lot of haters were proven wrong, and a lot of them were turned into supporters. That measured positive sentiment across the internet reached 62%. The FaZe Clan talent roster gained 2.5 million followers and over 550 million engagements. And 3 of those 4 new streamers that were recruited joined Stable Ronaldo from FaZe Clan in the top 50 most watched streamers worldwide. FaZe Clan quickly rebounded and has more support and love than it has had in years, but many of the original supporters are still upset by how things went down up until this point. But day by day, it seems that people are becoming more supportive to the vision after seeing how FaZe has quickly rebounded from a point of almost complete collapse. The future of FaZe Clan is of course unknown, but the reboot and relaunch has set high hopes of FaZe Clan members and fans. Early on, there was many comments saying things like FaZe Clan's fall off needs to be studied. Those comments have now transformed into FaZe Clan's comeback needs to be studied. As a member of FaZe since 2011, I have to admit that I thought it was all over in 2023. I did not really see a path towards success again in the future. I thought the damage was done and the business was too messy, but because of how low FaZe Clan fell, it weeded out a lot of old investors and board members, and it really made space for myself and the original FaZe members to relaunch the brand. I'm really proud of Banks and how he has stepped up and unapologetically done what he thought was best for FaZe Clan, and I'm glad to say that I can finally wear FaZe t-shirts again, proudly, and I think that the future is looking bright for the first time in a while. But just like the last 14 years, FaZe Clan is my life, and all I want is to see it succeed. And I know there's a lot of people that share that sentiment, whether they're happy or mad about how things went. Old members share the sentiment, new members share the sentiment, fans, former fans, new viewers. FaZe has had a very extensive history. There's been a lot of ups and downs, but for anyone that's been around since 2011, it is almost impossible to not want to see the brand succeed. So we can just hope and pray that the brand finds a way to continue to succeed, and you know, all the original members and people who have been a part of building this do find success on their own. It has been a rough few years. It has been a crazy few years. At the end of the day, these 14 years have been the biggest blessing of my life. So thank you to everyone who supported FaZe throughout the way. Even the haters out there, you have fueled us in a lot of ways, and it has been crazy. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video on this channel. Leave a like and subscribe, and FaZe up.